Matt, ring the bell. Let's pay attention, people.
Thanks, Bob. Is this on?
No.
All right. Jordan to the rescue. Jordan to the rescue. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick off because we want to make sure we stay on time today. Thank you for coming. I'm Matt Busick, president of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. This is our last meeting in the month of August 2022. Thanks. Yeah, we're ticking them off. We're ticking them off. We have 3 guests that I'd like to acknowledge. Brenda Weinke is, if you could please stand so that we can see you. Brenda is the wife of our district governor, District 6000 governor, who's our guest today, our guest speaker today, rather. And she's also, I learned, a Rotarian, yes, part of the Ankeny Satellite Club. So thank you for being here. Jennifer Chittenden is also a guest of our club. Jennifer is Assistant District Governor for District 6000, a Des Moines AM Rotarian, and a member and lead of membership at PEO. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. And Erna. Yeah. Erna Moraine. Yeah. So we can see you. Everyone knows Erna Moraine, guest to Steve Moraine, our own Steve Moraine. Erna is both a past District 6000 governor, a Waukee Rotarian, and a retired realtor. So I saw Jason back there. And I think we have a couple of our realtors here today. So everybody's aiming to be you, Erna, and retired. Okay, so today Carl Schilling has volunteered to provide our moment of inspiration. Please note that we do not have anyone signed up for moments of inspiration next month. So as I've told you before, this is a really terrific way to serve our club, get a lot out of it in both directions. So please take a chance to take a look at that and sign up if you would. And Carl will also lead us in reciting the pledge 4-way test. After Carl, of course, take a moment to greet those around you. And then past president, I think you like hearing that, don't you? Past.
Believe me, I
do. Sean will stand and introduce our District 6000 governor. And for protocol, make sure everyone stands when we make that introduction. Right now. Okay, Carl, take it away.
My inspiration today comes from a remarkable woman who passed away this summer in her late 90s. Ione Shattuck. Yes, I see a lot of nods. She was a WAC in World War II. She was head of the women's athletic program at Drake. She was very implemental in the change in women's basketball. And then at the age of 55 decided to become an attorney. And when I knew her, she was the assistant director of the Iowa Civil Rights Commission. What inspired me was a casual conversation that we had where one of the staff people said she was getting ready to run a marathon. And I just blurted out, whoa, I couldn't begin to do that. And Ione gave me this stern look that she practiced as a coach, I think, and said, Carl, you can always begin. And it strikes me that that's a very Rotarian attitude. And I kind of have a vision of a group of Rotarians talking about taking on the challenge of polio and realizing what a great challenge it was, and one of them saying, or more of them saying, the equivalent of, well, we can always begin. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we test,
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Greet your guests.
Thanks for
Christine Bills to get me in.
working today? Yeah, it's working. Hopefully maintained.
Okay, Sean. Okay. I am like so far out of my table.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, a little known fact about being a past president of the Rotary Club of Des Moines is when your term expires, you sublime into supernatural power capacity, meaning that we have certain superpowers at our disposal, but only as past presidents. Now, for example, past President Doug uses his superpower in maintaining his ruggedly handsome good looks. I think that's, he didn't know that. Past President Skeet uses his to try to improve his intelligence. And I inserted that because I don't see him here. That's why I was kind of scanning the room. I thought I could get away with that. And yours truly has a unique ability to bring the future into the present. And I'm going to prove that today. We're going to bring Sunday, August 28th, into today. And the reason we're doing that is because Sunday, August 28th, is our current President Matt's birthday. And as you know, during my term, if it was your birthday on Rotary Day, we sang Happy Birthday. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matt. Happy birthday to you. We hope you have a great day, Matt.
Thank you, Sean.
And I did that, we kind of pulled that together on the slide, didn't we, Kitty? So now that we've got that out of the way, on with the show. Friends, District 6000 comprises 3,200 Rotarians in 66 clubs, stretching from Denison in the northwest to Keokuk in the southeast, and from Clinton in the northeast to Lenox in the southwest. Each district in Rotary is led by a governor who leads the district, engages and inspires members, and promotes Rotary in the communities. Our club, Club 27, has had 6 of its members serve as district governor, beginning in 1923 with Carl Weeks of Salisbury House fame, 1928 Clyde Holzheier, 1934 William P. Bear, 1941 Charles T. County, 1996 Jim Vickery, and in 2000 Dale Belknap. Our district governor and his lovely and gracious wife Brenda hail from the satellite club of the Rotary Club of Ankeny. Our district governor has been an active Rotarian since 1996 and has been a member in different Rotary clubs in District 6000, including president of the Rotary Club of Johnston, president of the Rotary Club of Ankeny Evening Satellite Group, and as an assistant governor. He is a graduate of the Rotary Leadership Institute and serves as the district RLI coordinator and facilitator. Now, he retired in October of 2021 after serving as a human resources manager for a private duty home healthcare agency. Prior to that, he worked at Iowa State University in the Office of Risk Management as the Youth Protection Officer. Our district governor has also served in the Iowa National Guard for 33.5 years and retired at the rank of colonel. His first professional job was as a high school agricultural education teacher and FFA advisor at Solon and Tipton High School districts. His wife Brenda is a retired elementary school teacher and has been an active Rotarian for 3 years with the Satellite Club of Ankeny. Fellow Rotarians, would you please rise and give a warm Rotary Club of Des Moines welcome to our District Governor, Steve Winnicky.
Thank you, everybody. Please have a seat. Sean, I'm always amazed. I know I shouldn't be. Sean, I feel like I've been asking Sean to do a lot for our district recently, but I was very pleased when Sean told me that he was going to be introduced to me, and so the good news is you just took about 3 minutes off my talking point, so of doing the introduction. So that's great. I never know what kind of introduction I'm going to get. Just don't call me late to show up for a meeting. That's all I ask. It's really great to be here with you. Brent and I really look forward to coming and visiting with this club. I will tell you that I think we're on number 23 for clubs we've been out of our 66, and we're very busy with traveling across the district, and we're having a ball with it. And there's not one day goes by that we don't learn something that makes us a better person in what we're trying to achieve with growing Rotary across our district. And we've got so many great opportunities we're extremely thankful for. I'm going to, with Sean's introduction, I'm actually going to skip over a couple slides, but I'll show you a few photographs of Brendan and myself. The one thing that you probably may not know about us that Sean didn't talk about, and I talked about during the board meeting, which, by the way, we met with part of the board before your meeting today. And if you don't realize it or recognize it, your board that's representing all of you as members, you should really be thankful and appreciative of what they do. They are really doing great work for you, and they have you best interest in heart, and they're doing some tremendously positive things. The one thing I'd like to go back and point out about Brenda and myself is that we're in a do-over for our marriage. We just celebrated our 2nd year wedding anniversary about a week ago, and the photo you see that now is of our 5 children and 8 grandchildren, and if you're counting grandchildren, you're only going to find 7, so it's not a game or a quiz. We had another addition since this photo was taken a couple years ago. Jennifer Jones. How many people in here can tell me that you've met her in person and had a conversation with this person? Yeah, that's good. I really appreciate it. Many times when I would ask that question, we would have maybe 2, 3, 4 people raise their hand. I wish Jennifer had the opportunity to come and visit with our Rotarians here in District 6000. I've extended that offer and opportunity for Jennifer to come spend time with us. So far, it's chirping crickets back from her, but I shouldn't be surprised. But I will tell you that Jennifer Jones is an amazing individual that if you look at Rotary's rich tradition of 117 years of history, the one thing I can proudly tell you today is it's about darn time we got a woman that's leading us at Rotary International. So can we have a round of applause for her? So I don't know how this next part's going to go, so I'll leave it up to you. And I know that I am traditionally not known for being a jokester and pulling off comedy routine like Sean or many others in the audience would be. But I will tell you, I like talking about Jennifer Jones as a woman wearing a skirt. And where I'm going with this, I'm going to talk about the succession planning that Rotary International has coming up for the next couple of years. Am I going off script too much? Okay. My wife would say, what is he going to say? Because she never knows. So, did you know, after Jennifer, our next Rotary president is Gordon McAnally from Scotland. And as you well know, and I think I can recognize a name, but I'm not going to call them out by name in this crowd today, but I believe I know somebody in the crowd that has a kilt and proudly wears a kilt I'm not going to mention any names, but I will tell you that, so we got a skirt, now a kilt from Scotland. So are you guys going to be man enough to go out and buy a kilt and wear it when you go to the international convention that my wife is going to talk about next year? And then, if that wasn't enough, following Gordon, our next Rotary International President, Stephanie Urchak from Pennsylvania, USA, will be our next international president. So skirt, kilt, skill. For whatever that's worth. Next slide. All right, let's talk a little bit about the theme. So Jennifer really has an amazing design team that put a lot of thought and effort into coming up with Imagine Rotary. And there's so many things you can do a play on the words imagine, but let's go back in time a little bit and think about where this all came from. So the elements of the theme design began with a circle in Australian Aboriginal culture that signifies our connection to one another. The dots around the circle represent people. You see that there's 7 for the areas of focus. Circle and the dots come together to become a navigational star, serving as a guiding light. The solid line underneath is what is referred to as a digging stick. It is used when doing hard work. Since Rotary members are people of action, it represents a tool of getting things done. You'll notice there's 3 distinct colors that are identified in the theme: green, purple, and white. They don't necessarily relate directly to the Aboriginal culture, but this is the meaning behind each of the colors that Jennifer selected. Purple stands for polio eradication, green for the protection of our environment, and white for peace, which is among one of our core missions. Those who've been in Rotary for some time understand that Rotary International has a vision statement. Today I'm not going to read this, but I wanted to put this up for you just to remind you of the things we think, say, and do as Rotarians, which is very important, that leads us in all of our Rotary clubs across the world. What would an international organization, or any national organization for that part, be without setting goals and objectives and priorities? The one thing that I want to highlight with this is just giving you a sample of some of the talking points I'm going to go through and sharing with you today that are tied to priorities that relate directly to what your Rotary Club is doing, has been doing, will do in the future, as well as what District 6000 is focusing our efforts on as well. Next slide. So one of the initiatives that Jennifer Jones has done in the last 6, 7, 8 months is working alongside these other 3 international organizations. If you're not aware, Rotary International was the first international civic service organization formed. All the others that are listed up here were identified that they wanted to come on board and they wanted to do something similar to what Rotary did. So 5 to 12 years later, after Rotary began, all these other organizations came apart. One of the things that all 4 of the international presidents have decided they wanted to do is celebrate a week coming up in September 11 through 17 as a day of celebrating community. They're asking these organizations and other organizations that do not appear on here, that are in your local community, to reach out and find partnerships and create that partnership in doing good work for your citizens of your community. I encourage your club leadership to work together with these organizations and help people that are in need. And remember, together we are stronger. Now, there are other deeper relationships that can be garnered, and you guys are in a great location here in Des Moines looking for other partnerships. Don't overlook the opportunities of partnering with other local Rotary clubs nearby, or other civic service organizations, or other community partners you can form. And don't forget about the great opportunities we have available to share funding opportunities and partnerships with helping those across throughout the worldwide with global grant projects. Great opportunity. So, a few of you in the room know a little bit about my background and where I'm coming from. So, my beginnings of thinking of serving others probably began, and I didn't realize it until I was in the Scouts in 4-H and then in FFA and a lot of other things I did in high school and then on the college. But those of you that know me well, and I'm hoping to give you a little glimpse into what I'm passionate about, is membership engagement. I will tell you that one of the things I really love about Rotary that I've learned over almost 26 years I've been a Rotarian in 3 different clubs, it's about the networking that you do within your organization and extending a reach to invite people that we meet and to share that same opportunity of what we do. Past RI President Shaker Mehta in June during our last international convention in Houston, Texas, informed Rotarians that our organization had grown globally from 1.2 to 1.4 million members during his year in term. He attributes this growth in membership by individual members responding positively of his theme of growing membership, and that initiative was known as Each One Bring One, or each member go out and recruit and bring in a new member to serve alongside them. Intentional and frequent member engagement, getting members involved and invested right away by assigning them to a committee, giving them responsibilities, making sure they feel heard and appreciated and are important to being valued as a member are all important things that we need to keep in mind with all members that we have. I wish to emphasize the importance of offering the opportunity for new prospective members to join our ranks. Rotary International President Jennifer Jones and I encourage Rotarians to be welcoming, to take interest in our fellow members and our guests, and to show them comfort and care. For those of you that know Jennifer, you know that she is a loving, caring person, big heart, and if she was here, she wouldn't be satisfied with a handshake. She'd expect a hug from you. One thing I'd like you to think about, if we don't know our members and we don't ask our members what they are passionate about wanting to do and where they see themselves going in their organization and how they can help your organization, we don't serve our members and we don't serve our communities. We need to encourage our members so that they love their clubs and they love their Rotary experience. Now, I understand those of you that are in the back can't read every one of these words that are on the slide, and I don't expect you to, and that's not the importance of why I have this up. But I will tell you the one area that we need to work on improving, and I don't care if it's your club or another club in our district or worldwide, the one thing that I've seen a trend, and I'm not a subject matter expert on this, but the one thing that I will tell you that really resounds with me of going and visiting clubs for many years is that oftentimes a Rotarian joins Rotary and they have a pretty good idea about what Rotary is in their local community, but they really don't have a good idea about what it takes to be a Rotarian outside of that Rotary experience in their own local club. So my words of encouragement would be to get out of your comfort zone, get outside of your club, look for opportunities to learn and grow as a Rotarian, and find ways that you can help others besides the people in your own local community where you reside and you serve. And a couple things that I'd like you to think about is that we offer in District 6000 a lot of free educational opportunities. Sean Mullins, as one of our public image co-chairs for District 6000, just recently published a podcast and email that went out to all members in our Rotary family within District 6000. On Thursday, September 29th, we're going to be offering a 90-minute presentation that's called One Summit. What is that? It's our fall education assembly, inviting all members to participate and learn and grow and find new ways to find new interesting ways that we can grow in the form of membership growth and development with our Rotary Foundation and also with our public image. I think you'll find that to be a really, really fun experience. We also have a spring education assembly which will be held on March 4th. That exact location has not been determined yet. That'll be in conjunction with the training that we do for our assistant governors and all of our president-elects and president-elect nominees. So for our president-elects and president-elect nominees, or whatever you would call them, it's the presidents for the next couple of years. So put aside March 3rd and 4th as important dates for you to meet in person this time. We're not hiding behind the curtain of saying that we're hiding from what's going on with, and that's easy for us to say today. Who knows what we're going to be facing with the environment in the future, but we're excited to bring back in-person training for those people this March 3rd and 4th. We also will be offering our district conference that will be in 5 different locations, and Brenda's going to talk about that. And then we also have a really fun and interesting way for you to learn by going to attend the Rotary Leadership Institute. Brenda? So Rotary Leadership Institute, as Sean mentioned in my bio introduction, it's probably the best kept secret that we have in Rotary. Rotary Leadership Institute is a opportunity for members, any member, whether you're in a leadership position or just want to learn more and grow. It's an opportunity for you to attend 3 different workshops on 3 different Saturdays. They usually are offered in the fall of the year and the spring of the year, and you are offered the opportunity to attend one of those courses when it best fits your schedule. But I will tell you, this is not a free opportunity. It does cost $85 for each session. Most Rotarians that go through this are sponsored by the Rotary Club that pay for the $85 registration. It's extremely well worth it. Now, I'm a little biased. I went through and graduated through RLI, and many of our past assistant governors and past district governors and past presidents have told me and many others that are related to Rotary Leadership Institute, it's by far the best training grounds for helping round their knowledge and awareness and experiences of what Rotary has to offer outside their local club. So outside where you checked in and got your name badge, you'll see that there's a flyer out there. Please take one of those with you today if you're interested. And there's many other things that we're going to be talking about during the course of our presentation day that we welcome you to take those flyers out as well. Next. Youth programs. I finally, after 25 years of being a Rotarian, I finally took the opportunity to take up an invitation to go and participate in RILA, which is our Rotary Youth Leadership Award. It's a 6-day camp for high school students. I'll tell you, it's an amazing experience. If your club has not had experience with this, I would encourage your club to get more heavily involved and participate in RILA. I saw the magic transformation take place with students that never knew each other before they came together. 165 students from all over the state of Iowa came and met for 6 days, and they had some tremendous learning experiences. And it's not only for the high school students, but also the Rotarians that are volunteering that week to be a camp counselor with them. The High School Interact Club is another vital part. If you have one in one of your high schools, it would be a really worthwhile program to do, as well as youth exchange for inbound and outbound students. If you haven't done that for a while, I would really encourage you to pursue those opportunities as well. So, alternative meeting opportunities. The board heard me talk about this today, and I'm going to be brief in my comments about this. Some communities have missed out on an opportunity of creating an opportunity for creating a different date, time, and place for the members to attend. It doesn't work for every community. It doesn't work for every club, and that's part of what I'm trying to talk about. So I'm going to talk about my wife, Brenda. She just joined Rotary 3 years ago, and I hope she didn't feel like I pressured her into something. She was in Winterset for the last 19 years of her 38 years of teaching, and Winterset has got a Thursday noon meeting also. And teachers that she knew, and looking back and thinking about it, she was excluded from having an opportunity in Winterset of being a Rotarian. Now, in her profession, she taught 9 months out of the year. In my profession as a high school ag teacher, I had a 12-month year-round contract, so I didn't have a break. But think of the opportunities and imagine what your Rotary Club could look like if you afforded another opportunity to meet another date, time, and place. Once again, I'll say it doesn't. What this offers is just another opportunity. We're not talking about taking members from this club to go to another club. It works in some communities and it's been working very effectively in many communities. So I just would like you to consider that as a possibility. Next slide. I want to commend you for the outstanding work you've not only done for the Rotary Foundation, for contributions as a club, but also what you've done for your own Des Moines Rotary Club Foundation as well. You guys are setting the bar extremely high for the rest of us in giving. Last year, your giving was way off the charts. I think it was like $6,300 beyond your goal. And I was kidding Matt earlier on down during our board meeting about why you didn't raise the bar a little bit higher. And he said, well, I raised it $1,000 more than what the goal was last year. And I said, good job, but you exceeded your goal by over $6,000. So he's a smart numbers guy. He played right into my hand. I got exactly what I was expecting to hear back from him. So thank you very much for supporting the Rotary Foundation. That's very, very important. The one thing that I would say is that if you are not taking advantage of contributing $100 as a sustaining member towards the Rotary Foundation, every Rotarian every year, $100 contribution for being a sustaining member is very important. If you're not giving at that level, please consider doing so. Polio eradication. What can I say other than the fact that we're still this close, and quite frankly, if you measure the gap in between my fingers, it's probably widened just a little bit, and I want to explain a little bit about that. Our world is very complex, as you're well aware of, but I'll tell you that what we've witnessed in the Ukraine over the last 6 months has done a great deal of damage in so many different ways. But we've got so many different things to be very proud of what Rotarians have done to help the people of the Ukraine. The one thing we can't help is in a war-torn country, it is very much out of our control of what we can do to impact on reducing the spread of polio. Excuse me. The one thing I'm very, very proud of is that we've also known that our members in Rotary are still very giving people, and we have formed in April. Our district has moved forward with the adoption of many other districts worldwide with offering an opportunity for Rotarians to become Polio Plus Society members. What does that mean? That means for those of you that have been giving $100 per year as a sustaining member for the past, we'd like to recognize you for not only what you've done in the past, but also for continuing to support polio eradication in the future. By being a member of the Polio Plus Society, which we have a form outside where your name badges were at, we're asking Rotarians to consider favorably to donating $100 per year to be a continued Polio Plus crusader to eliminate this dreadful disease. Next slide, please. So every district governor has an opportunity and is expected to have a signature project. I think you're all pretty familiar with what Irna did as a past district governor, and applaud you for your efforts. And I will tell you that maybe Irna thinks that we are stealing some of her thunder. But what I want you to know is that part of what Brenda and I took in consideration, looking back over about the last 12 years of what the signature project has been, we felt very compelled to bring you back two things that were very near and dear to our heart, because quite frankly, you don't have to look very far, especially up here, and look across our great community of Des Moines, greater Des Moines Metro. We've got some flaws, and we have some hidden problems within our communities. And it doesn't make any difference if I'm going to the largest community in our district or the smallest community. We have homeless. We have people that don't have enough food to eat. We have people that don't have a clue how to read or write. And there are some things that we as Rotarians are very well equipped to handle and help improve within our communities. So what our signature project is this year, and we're asking our Rotarians and our clubs to get behind us, is doing what you're already doing, but build upon what you're doing within your communities in the areas of improving children's literacy and reducing our food insecurity issues we have within our communities. So let me tell you a little bit about what our vision is. And we wouldn't even think about rolling out a service project like this if we didn't if we didn't actually want to set and lead by example. So let me tell you a little bit about what our Ankeny Rotary Club has done to get behind our initiative. We have 9 members serving on a special ad hoc committee that we added to our Youth Services Committee that's focused only on children's literacy, improving literacy. So this is what we've already done, and this is what we're planning on doing in the coming year. So you can hold us to what we're doing. So already our club has hosted a couple events, and we have several other events that we're planning to involve children and families within our community of Ankeny to attend activities that will include the serving of a meal, offering food to take home, providing reading and learning activities that allow parents and Rotarians alike to engage with children, and to give each child a book to take home after the event. We've been conducting these events in different places, such as elementary schools, our Head Start Center, City Library, Farmers Market, pediatric health clinics, our fire stations, and our police stations, only to mention a few. So, a little story about this book. And there's nothing special about this book other than the fact that I'm going to give this to your president, Matt, to deliver. But I got to tell you that my wife and I are still discussing what right looks like. When I told her that I wanted to donate 1 book for every Rotarian, 3,200 books in our district, she said, "Oh my God, you need some help."
I see we have a clergy member in the audience. Maybe I need your help, Father. But anyway,
I just want you to know I'm going to give this book to Matt, and the intention, Matt, is for you to give it to an organization that will benefit and improve children's literacy somewhere in the Des Moines area. So I may be back to give you more books.
as if Brenda's not paying attention. I'll keep watching.
So food insecurity, likewise, is very important, and I had a great example with Aaron with what you did for food insecurity during the year you were district governor with a $25,000 grant with the Food Bank of Iowa. A lot of great lessons learned. So I do pay attention to what others in the past have done. So moving on to foundation dinners. One thing I'd say is that you're cordially invited to attend one or both of our foundation dinners. Each year we have at least one foundation dinner, or that's our goal. This year we happen to have 2 of them coming up in October. And for those of you that are concerned about, oh my God, it's a Friday night. Why did you pick a Friday night? Well, it's a lesser of 2 evils. I love high school football. I love college football, and you can kind of read between the lines on which team I might be more supportive of. But I will support both teams as long as they're not playing each other, if you get my drift. So if I went with Saturday, which was the original date for both of them, there would have been a lot of unpopular people, and I probably would have had half the turnout for people coming to these foundation dinners. So I invite you to come to one of these foundation dinners. David Forward, the author of David Forward's Photos on the Right, he was a publisher of Doing Good in the World, which is talking about the Rotary Foundation. He's an author of 20 books for Rotary, and he is a great spokesman. He is not coming back again. He's already been to our district at least twice that I know of in the last probably 8 years. But anyway, just wanted to share that opportunity with you. I'm going to call on my wife Brenda to come forward and talk about a couple slides in the future here.
Okay, we talked about the district conferences. I think Steve said 5, but he meant 3. Mike Ruby did 5 district conferences at one time, and we liked the idea of district conferences being regional, but we thought 3 was what we could handle. So members said they wanted to be closer to home, take less time, and cost less money. And so that's what we did. We have 3. You have this on your table for you to take with you today for Save the Date. We'll be in Carroll on April 15th. Then we'll go to Coralville the next Saturday. And right in your backyard, West Des Moines, April 29th. So we'd love to have you attend 1, 2, or all 3 of those conferences. We'll be showcasing what clubs in our District 6000 have done over the last year. On the back of your Save the Date, there are some reasons to attend. which include things like having a lot of fun. You will learn something new to bring back to your Des Moines club. We are going to have door prizes. We are going to have silent auction items, including desserts. And we're also doing a special contest. The club with the highest percentage of people that attend, those names will go in a hat, and we'll draw out one person that will get a $200 night on the town to go do something fun. Also on your table, you will see the lapel pins that have the Imagine Rotary theme. We'd like you to take that with you today. There's an ink pen as a gift from Steve and myself. His business card is on your table. If you need to get a hold of him, have any questions. And there's also a white sheet with save the dates. We've been told this has been very handy. All these important dates of different kinds of educational experiences, the foundation dinners, RLI, the conferences are all on that piece of paper. So feel free to take that today too. Out where your badges are, there are sheets to sign up for the foundation dinners or the conferences, but you can also do that online on the District 6000 webpage. And finally, the International Convention. This last year, we were in Houston, Texas. Next year, we're going to go a little bit farther to Melbourne, Australia. And when we were at the conference, the Australians were trying to get everybody all excited, and we were all saying Melbourne, and they said, no, that's not how you say it. It's Melbourne, Australia. We're going over Memorial Day next year. So if you are looking for that trip of a lifetime, I know some people in this room have already been to Australia. They're talking to them. But it's a great chance to get up close with the koala bears, the kangaroos, the Great Barrier Reef, and make some wonderful Rotary friends. So we'd love to have you join us in Melbourne, Australia for the International Convention. And finally, if you have any questions for Steve, we are open to questions.
Our questions go to Brenda. I get the easy questions.
And if no questions, then thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation today and for investing time with us, Steve and Brenda. We're very appreciative. We also are big advocates of literacy in this club, and so in recognition of the precious time you donated to us, we're giving a book in your honor to the Des Moines Public Library. We donated $40,000 to the Des Moines Public Library a few years ago so that Des Moines Public Library could purchase what we refer to fondly as the Rotary Rosie Reader Van.
Love it.
That van moves around the Metro of Des Moines and has brought books, and a book in your honor will be placed in the library, moving in the van to lots of folks across the Metro. And that was part of our community grant. Each year we do give away $40,000. Speaking of community service grant, that's right around the corner. Applications are due by September 6th. A link to the application is on our website's homepage. So please encourage anyone you know who would have a well-matched program for the criteria of our grant program to apply. Now, heads up on what's coming up next. I'm not sure who next week's speaker is, but hopefully you know. Next week, we will convene here for what I'm referring to as the State of the Union. We're going to go through what's going on with the Rotary Club of Des Moines, some of the work that we've been doing as a leadership team in the background to make sure that our club is feeling energetic and growing again post-COVID. On September 8th, we will be visited by Maestro Joseph Junta, thank you. Des Moines Symphony will be here. And then on September 15th, we'll be off-site, not meeting here at the Embassy Club, so full and fair warning. On the 15th, we will be off-site at fellowship meetings. 3 of our members have volunteered to host us, and that is Mark Snell, Brian Blankenberg, and Susan Judkins-Jostin. You can sign up to attend one of those off-sites if you're outside the leadership team. The leadership team will be with me for one more meeting at St. John's Lutheran Church downtown. In the bag, we'll deliver lunches to the place, and make sure you RSVP for that. Okay, very, very pleased to have you here. Thanks for the update. Thanks for encouraging us. I'm going to take some of this stuff to next week's meeting, and we are adjourned for now.